Alrighty, welcome to this evening's game. It looks like they have joined a lobby. They haven't started it up. I don't know what the picks are. I don't know what the bans are. Imagine it's not data center, which I can currently see on Aeon stream. But whatever it is, we are going to find out. We are going to join it. And here I have the first info. It looks like the Plantz banned museum, not people of culture or men's and women's. You know how I struggle with these things. Yeah. Who banned stock, Mr. Toxic? Plant banned Star, Reach, Sky, and then Stockpile, I guess. Them's our bans. That should hopefully now translate into the screen. It do. Beautiful, beautiful. Wait a minute. Toxic, did you bamboozle me? You are the worst. Just saying dumb stuff is what you excel at. I should have known not to trust him. I should have known. But instead of editing this tile card, let's just see if they are in a match. No, they haven't even started. Okay, then we can still do this. Let's try this one more time. Bans, Plantz, banned. What did they ban? Museum. And industry. And cat band. Read Sky. Good choice, good choice. And oil rig. There we go. And it looks like they're finding a server right now, which is our cue to kill the music and remove the title screen. And as you will see, we are still here, but they are in the lobby. We shall wait 1 minute to hopefully avoid any dreaded recording bugs. And then we shall join in and cast this game. First map appears to be Stockpile. And let's load in, shall we? Alright, looks like the Reaver round plans are moving forward. Ooh, a little bit of lag, hopefully that was just bad TV. And now we actually have the setup. On the Plantz side, we have Death Star, Cube, Hospice, Ver, and Osiris. I have it on good authority that Novit has COVID. Not only does this rhyme, it's also very sad. I hope Novit will feel better very soon. But I'm sure his team in the meantime will do its best to, you know, make him proud. On the cat side, we have Lickcube, Aeon, Enrico, Taco Cat, and Sack. And the Plants are on the T side, and they immediately go for the good old rush B, as we all like it. They have one in the snake. Will now breach the main. Just poor Aeon being there in the connector, starts shooting, gets a shot off on Death Star. They now know what the play is. Taco gets the flank off, killing the behind, which sounds weird if you think about it. Bomb plant gets down, so that's good for Plants. But in terms of this round, with just Death Star left, this is a hopeless situation as he gets killed. Zack decides, you know what, Cube, you can't just take my kills, I will shoot you. Lucky for... Actually, no, that was before the round was over, so Zack will lose all his money. Most unfortunate right there. So now Zack will be quite low, but not impossibly low. The rest of his team in a good spot. Of course, Plants are buying rifles since they did manage to plant the bomb. We shall see how the cats deal with this. Enrico buying a deagle. Zach being aggressive with his mini AK is probably not the worst idea. However, Ver shows him you need a real AK to get into this room, and it just shoots him. Pretty reasonable if you think about it, because if you could get away with a mini AK, why wouldn't you all the time? He keeps pushing, shows Ver it's not the best idea to bring... Oh no! Oh, never mind, that's it. Oh, I thought there was a smoke, but it was an English cook grenade that deleted Ver, who, yeah, got his 2 kills, showed Enrico that it's not wise to bring a Deagle to an AK fight. Meanwhile, Taco Cat gets killed by Death Star and Ozus gets killed by Le Cube, and then Aeon dies once more. This time, however, not to his teammates, but to Ozius. Actually, it wasn't Ozius who died the first time during a team kill, it was Le Cube. That is my bad. So 1-1. 1 CT win for the Cats in the first round. However, second round not as they wanted it to go, and now they have to save. We see a bunch of Deagles coming out. Looks like they're gravitating towards the B side. We shall go into the bird perspective. Never mind, it looks like they're a fairly default setup. We see an early nade into mid that was optimistic, I would say. And the Plantz are moving slowly towards B. Have they spotted him? It looks like it. He does have 2 knives, which is pretty terrific. However, he does not get the kill, and once more gets another nice headshot off. He also managed to kill Taco. He hears Zach and he shoots Zach, but not before Zach gets the kill with the knife. There is now an AK on the board, so it should be Enrico's goal to get it. However, he's unaware that Hospice is in his back, and yeah, just falls over. Obviously, the bullets in his back helped with that falling over procedure, so that's most unfortunate for him. 1-2 now. How is everybody? Is the sound alright? Are we good? Are you enjoying yourself? And what do you think of Plantz's plan to take the A side? Zach on A long, will he defend it? Looks like he is pushing up and pushing back. The nade probably didn't fly like he meant it to be. Now he saw one of the Plantz members on long, did a little bursting. He white peeks it, which is pretty risky. If the double peek from where would have come out, he would have regretted that decision. However, he now realizes I should probably not fight this alone, as there's probably more there. On the A side itself, doesn't appear to be any cat. We have 2 members in mid. Taco Cat kills Hospice. They now realize, oh shit, it's an A side and we forgot to put somebody there. Always in an awkward situation. Let's not fly into that wall. Zach now on the long. Plantz do control the side, but they have limited angles. Cube, however, doesn't have limited angles. He has no angles because his head is in the ground. Death Star now towards the CT side, where the Cats are rolling up in force with 3 people. Enrico reaching the main side. It's now 4v2. Aeon on the flank. Zach on the push. Not realizing, oh, that's a spot where you can be. Last person has been called. Cube gets the kill, and now all he has to do is type in the numbers to calm down the calculator. And it's exactly what he does. They pick up guns, turning this round around. So now they have a 2-2 score-wise, and they have all the big guns, which is always a fun time. However, the Plantz also have a lot of money because they won multiple rounds and they planted the bomb. So they can try one more time without much regard. Interestingly enough, Cube rolls out the AK-12. Not sure if that was intentional. I would imagine it's not, but you never know. The rest of the team going more traditional, following the advice of the meta police, only buying M4s and AKs. We're making some steps towards B main. Rest of the team kind of just hovering in mid. Not entirely sure what the plan is. I'm not sure if it's just not me who's not sure, or maybe it's them as well. We shall see. We're now just lurking B main. Cat's not impressed, not showing any signs of aggression. Pretty atypical for Cats, I would say. Not the team, but the animal. And now it looks like the Plantz decide, you know what, this is where we start walking and they need to make the guns talking soon. I apologize for that, because they have 50 seconds on the clock, and so far no picks have been made. No territory has been taken. Probably too soon to say to frame it like this, but you know what I mean. We now see some smoke grenades coming out. Aeon also showing that bullets are coming out of his AK, killing members of Plantz as they push onto side. Taco now with a nice flank on the side, killing 2 members of Plantz, now leaving only Death Star and Hospice alive. Death Star is one shot, as Aeon just proves, and the bomb gets clipped by Aeon, I believe, leaving just Hospice on the field, who shot his gun in vain angrily at the remaining 5 members. So this is another nice round for the Cats, who managed to kill all or almost all the enemies and also defusing the bomb. Meanwhile, the Plantz angrily throwing away magazines because they dropped another round, and this time it looks like they're going for a fast B, rush B. Why not? We shall see how that goes. Cube should have called that, should have heard that. So far, it looks like Taco is on the rotate. Aeon again in the connector. Cube now also in the connector. Cube makes it onto side, but his head is split in half. So technically, he is on side in multiple places. Unfortunately, he had the bomb, and Osius tried to pick it up, but was shot down just the same. Not sure why they let Taco a one round like that, but they all get freaking deleted. So another nice round for the Cats. 4-2 now, and this is where the money of the Plantz will start weighing a little bit thin. Some of the members still have plenty of money, but if they don't win this round, then it will start to look really dire. I would say this is a fairly balanced map, so it's probably not the worst result so far, but they need to make some wins here to make their CT easier, I would say. And this time, since they got absolutely deleted on A long, on B, and looks like they are deciding for an A. Sack again aggressive on the break room. We shall see if that pays out for him. It already paid off in the sense that Osius lost his helmet, is a bit dazed and confused by that, saying, "What the hell, don't shoot me there," and walks away. Then decides, you know what, I need to pick up this helmet, so let me just check where it is, or at the very least find the person who removed it from my head. Can he get the kill? This is the question. Osius now peeking, Sack unfortunately peeking the window at the same time, and therefore finally being punished for his helmet removal. Rest of the Plantz now reaching the A side that is smoked off. However, we have Taco in that corner. He can hear the Plantz. He cannot deny it, but he can shoot Cube as revenge. He now goes for the aggressive, the hyper-aggressive the clip. Plantz are like, what the hell, man, we just put it there. You can't just do it, but turns out he absolutely can. And as risky as a player that was, it did pay out and pay off and pay whatever, because they got another win and now they are swimming in the money. Cube flexing his 10k. Meanwhile, the Plantz, they did manage to plant the bomb, so they got a little bit of money out of that. But what they really need is wins. Cube showing us how desperate the situation is by buying an MP5. Not sure if that's the play here. It's not the last round, so he absolutely needs to make some money here. He's also waiting for his first kill. Hopefully he can get that done. Not the ideal starting position to be in if you need to use an MP5 while all the enemies have big guns. For example, Sack has a 50 cal. We call it the war crime stick because it can just delete you from the map. And that is not a gun you want to fight with an MP5. He, however, is brave, walks into B main as the first with the bomb. So he has a giant target on his chest. Rest of his team are saying, come on, Cube, that's fine, there's nobody there, just get in there, get the plant, make us some money. And yeah, he drops smoke grenades onto plastic and onto connector, and now starts running again. Cube tries to deny it. Looks like Cube is looking for the plant. Looks like he was flashed. Most unfortunate. Not sure where that flash came from. He wiggled around, tried to get the bomb down, but did not manage to hit the spot, which admittedly is pretty hard. Meanwhile, grenades roll down, showing you don't actually need to plant this stupid bomb. Just kill the enemy with nades and bullets, as the rest of the cats get deleted in all of that confusion. It looked like They were really busy trying to deny the plan, which they managed to succeed, but in the process they got themselves killed. And now with the final round, it's a bit awkward because, Plantz have the money, or they have enough money to buy rifles and also a lot of utility, except for Hospice, who says, fuck utility, all my homies just buy M4s. On the cat side, they have also plenty of utilities. Sack bought the 50s, so he can only afford a lonely AK and some snippers. Aeon pushing up, deleting Ver. This is a really nice pick for him, and he decides, this is enough for me. I'm a humble man. I kill Ver, then I run away. What's she gonna do about it? Looks like they're throwing some flashbangs in his general direction. However, that does not faze him at all. The cats now know that it's a B, since they are deep into mid, seeing B players. They're hearing the steps. All they need to do is contain the situation, and containing their will by just killing everybody, leaving just Hospice next to Aircon. That is not the player, but the physical object here. And it's another wipe. 6-3, very nice help for the cats. Yeah, there was no snipping needed, or snipping, as Tima likes to say. We shall see if the cats can now turn their 6-3 advantage into a win, or if they are struggling with the T-push. And they decide, you know what, this rush B is kind of outdated. Let's rush a very creative, daring RE. Looks like we have two people going into A long, one person gravitating towards the mid, and the rest is moving into a main a bit slower. Fights are being picked, and Rico showing everybody, hey, I have the biggest gun on the map. But that guy's like, I have the same. We do a little bit of stepping on A long. Cube trades out with Sack on knives, not something we see every day. Aeon gets deleted, as does Ver, leaving just Cube and Enrico. 2v4, hard situation. They need to get the plant down. However, with two people on the side, this is quite unlikely, as Cube falls, leaving just Enrico, who now needs to absolutely clutch it. Let's go into the first person perspective. Okay, he should have heard the player in yard to his right. But with 55 seconds on the clock, he better land some quick hits. He just saw the player on head peak. The player didn't see him until he did, and then he shot him. That is always a very sad story. We shall play some sad tunes for this one later. So a very unsuccessful pistol round in terms of, you know, success, in terms of planting the bomb, in terms of whatever you want to call it, kills, and therefore they have no money. Despite this, the Plantz decide this anti-ego nonsense is stupid. Let's just get the cool guns out. We play with the big toys only, except for Deathstar, who still likes the FAMAS. Hasn't heard it's 2022 where nobody plays FAMAS anymore. He says, fuck all of that. All my homies buy a FAMAS, which is actually incorrect because all of his homies in his clan are buying mostly AKs and some M4s. The cats, on the other hand, they are just deagling it up for the most part, except Taco, who has a flashbang. Is it primed in his hand? What's going on here? The rest of the team is lining up. Plantz relatively disciplined, just staying on side. We're in the right corner. I think Cats hope for some sort of aggression. There it comes. Unfortunately not for the way they wanted. Now the jig is up, as they say. They need to delete Ver quickly, but instead Ver kills him. But they do get a knife off, which is nice. Taco picks up the gun, but Hospice is on the flank and kills Aeon, and then Osius shoots Taco Cat in the back. So there was only one knife kill and not a bomb plant, and they recovered the AK. So that is not the ideal safe round you want to see. Obviously the ideal safe round would be a win, or at least some more money. It wasn't the worst either. They did get one knife kill, but now the real play needs to come out. And it looks like a little bit of a split. We have Sack going towards the A side with a nade. I believe he also has a gun because he should have sufficient amount of money. Looks like he is pushing A long. Let's go over there. He's nading it a bit too far to the left and also undercooked. He flashbangs it. I believe this is a fake, as he's using a lot of utility, not very effectively. Now falling off. It will remain to be seen if Plantz are falling for this. They're like, hey, wait a minute, that's kind of like bullshit, man. Let's just reset, and that's exactly what they do. So the $800 that Sack invested there are not really paying off, and Cat finding themselves in the same situation as before. Hopefully this time it will go better for them. However, Hospice is like, I killed somebody in Snake, I want to do that again. And it's exactly what he does by shooting Cube rudely in the back, which is mostly how shooting goes, no matter if front or back. Zack tries to breach the 8 side alone, he dies in the process. And finally somebody takes Hospice down, but now it's a 2v4 situation with at least one player called. Looks like they still want to go for it. Not sure if that's the play with just 35 seconds on the clock. Might be worthwhile to save. Now they have been spotted. Can they make the fight? Rest of the plans are surprisingly stationary, I have to say. Now Death Star is what is like, you know what, we're okay, I'll help you. You always annoy me about that stuff. Sees Aeon on site. Lots of gunfire. Aeon apparently forgot about the player, but still manages to get the plant somehow, some way. So they make a bit of money. Death Star checking the site. Is there a ghost here? No Death Star. Everybody from Cats is dead. You can just defuse the bomb if you want. I mean, you can also shoot the teammate if you really feel like it. But in like games terms, you probably just want to defuse the bomb once your teammates have picked up a gun. Unfortunately for Plantz, we have a disconnect, and it is my brain. This is most unfortunate. If you don't have a brain, you can't remember who dropped. Well, whoever he was, he is dearly missed. I want to say I know who it was, but obviously if I knew, I would have said it by now. This is the disadvantage if you're very old. You forget a lot of things that you shouldn't forget. Hospice, that is absolutely correct. I probably forgot because he's buying FAMAS, and that is just mind-blowing. Thank you for that information, chat. I obviously knew that and was just testing if you guys were still listening. Meanwhile, Aeon is like, this is for winning, I don't care, let's just push it. Ozzius, meanwhile, kills Zack with a nice nade. Enrico kills Death Star and Ozzius. A lot of trading, leaving just Ver in a 1v3 situation. He makes it a 1v2 situation. However, he has Aeon in his flank and Aeon kills it. In a situation like this, if I may say so, you probably want to play so defensive, just let the round run out so that your remaining player can reconnect and you can save some money. So they should have played that very defensively and, you know, bought themselves some times, because now unfortunately for them they have to play another round with the player down, which is very tricky in this game, as there are 5 lanes on this map, and if you compare the number 5 to the number 4, you will realize the number 5 is higher than the number 4. Therefore they cannot really cover everything, and looks like the Cats gravitating towards B, which unfortunately for Plantz is exactly where only one player is. Now Zack gets killed, turning this into a 4v4. Cube loses a lot of health in the process, but they probably know, just one player, and we saw this before when they faked. Are they faking us again? And yeah, they realize, hey, they are indeed. Plantz, on the other hand, deploying a smoke grenade, which I don't know why they did that. They smoked themselves off nicely, giving Plantz time to rotate. For now on the concrete, or plastic as they call it. Taco runs past the flashbang, doesn't care, but is then killed by Ozzius. Cube, meanwhile, plants the bomb, turning this into a 3v3 situation. This is winnable, however, Cat are dug deep on site. Enrico, in a bit of a bad spot, makes the best of it by killing one player, heavily wounding another, leaving it into a 2v1 situation, and Cube is actually very hurt from the first engagement with Zack, so he should absolutely not fight it. He should just run away, get some guns for his team, and hope that Hospice finally reconnects, because all that is to be found on this side is probably his own death, and that is exactly what he finds. Thank you, Cube. I would have looked absolutely ridiculous if you had pulled that off. I'm not entirely sure if that can. And the server is full. Well, it's almost like this game is not esports ready. I don't see him, but I can absolutely see that happening with Dave Netcode, that the server thinks it's still full. Unfortunately, I don't think they can vote on him if he's not actually there. And I don't think it's a download because somebody would need to find the pin and then, you know, not have the map. I find that very unlikely. Osius being a chat, deleting 2 members of the cats, turning this suddenly into a 4v3 situation where suddenly the cats are in the minority and Cube decides that's not enough. I like 4v2 odds way better. Leaving just Zach because Enrico also died. Zach doing the smart play, picking up a gun and the bomb. I'm not sure he should pick up the bomb. He has 1 minute and he has to survive 4 Plantz, which normally doesn't sound like a big deal if you think about how many Plantz successfully attacked you in your life. You will probably come to the conclusion that no plant ever really has attacked you successfully. However, these plants have M4s and AKs and they go hunting, which makes them quite more terrifying than your average houseplant, as Zach finds out because he gets killed. So now we have still a 5v4. Hopefully Hospice somehow, someway can get back into it because his team desperately needs him. It's 8-7, so they still have a fighting chance, but you don't want to take that chance in a 5v4 situation. And it looks like Cube is trying to convince his team to come over to B side, be like, hey guys, let's go over there. This is probably pretty smart because it looks like plans are stacking towards the A side. And I say stacking in the sense that they have the normal amount of players there, which technically is probably not stacking, but you know what I mean. And it looks like Cat know about this or suspect it, or maybe they're just plain lucky. We don't really know. All we know is Ver is about to find out what it's like to be peeked by 4 cats at the same time. And generally in real life, if you get peeked by cats, it's also not a big deal, although they can scratch you. However, these cats will scratch you with automatic rifles. Well, they try with a grenade first, and if he was there several seconds earlier, he would have died, but he dies nonetheless because he tries to run away, and cats do not take prisoners. They are pretty mean and gruesome in real life as well in this video game, so they just shoot him in the back. Even just Destar, who is half HP. It looks like he had a fight with Enrico because he's the only one who lost health, I would assume. It looks like he picked up a gun. That would explain the rapid gun firing that happens sometimes, and Cube is just chilling in the mid. Yeah, so hopefully Hospice can get back into the game because this is quite advantageous. You know that word, you know which word I meant. I know it's not pronounced that way, but I'm not gonna try again because I'm just gonna embarrass myself further. And yeah, that would be quite unfortunate if they would lose this match because they are down a player because Dave decides, I want this to be a 4v5. We would like it to be a 5v5 clean fight. 9-7 now match point for the cats. So the Plants must hold this one. They must defend. Looks like Deathstar is going for an M4. I thought for a second he would buy a FAMAS because he was going down to 2k, but it looks like he bought the M4 first. Rest of the team also buying rifles, clippers, all that good stuff. Not giving any to Ver. Kind of mean he could use some of that, especially considering he's mostly alone on B. Looks like this time the cats are gravitating towards the A side. Zach seems to be the fake, the pressure maker, so to speak. Oh, Enrico gets a nice tag, now knows exactly where Osius is. Can he capitalize on that aggression? He now keeps it and he gets it, leaving just Cube in CT. Destar meanwhile evens it out on the B side. However, most unfortunate for him, there's nobody else on B side. And they have complete control over A side. And not only that, Enrico was in mid, but Cube was like, you know what, it would be really cool if you weren't in mid, Enrico, and decides to make him go away, turning this into a 3v3 situation. Winnable, but however, pretty tricky at times. We see a nice smoke grenade coming out, blocking that peak. Now some flashbangs, mostly causing eye damage. He tries to go for the snip, but the snip is not there. Now it's a 2v2 situation. Where the hell is Deathstar? He's coming on the flank. They probably know where the remaining members are, but clock's ticking. They do have clippers. There it is. Oh no, he suspects the other player also in the dropper, but he is not, and therefore the cats win. I have to say, I think with the 5th player, this would have been a lot closer, maybe even a win for the Plants, but unfortunately, this is not how Dave's wills was it. So this is a 10-7, and this is the final scoreboard for the first map stockpile. And while we wait, we should listen to some tunes, see what's what, see what lobbies are doing what in the meantime. And it looks like they recreated the lobby as Aeon is looking for a new lobby. And we shall see if they can get that situation fixed. Hello Ver, yes, we heard unfortunately a broken lobby. Looks like Dave did not agree, didn't want to have you play 5v5. Most unfortunate, would have been a really good game, but yeah, that is sometimes how Dave does that to you. In the meantime, we can look back at the picks and the bans. We can see that Museum has been banned, Industry, Rietska, Ulrich. Since Stockpile has been taken, this leaves Stahl and Santorini, I believe, if I'm not completely mistaken. Good luck, Ver. Thanks for the update. Hopefully you can win the second match for your team. If not, this would be quite sad for your team. And it looks like Death Star is back in the lobby, this cursed lobby. It also looks like the Superhero and Cutie Cat have been put in. It looks like Zack is out for Cats, as is... I have to wait for Hospice to actually show it. He is whirling around, so Aeon is still there, Enrico is still there. Taco Cat is the other player who has been swapped out. On the Plantz side, it looks like the same setup. Hopefully this time they can keep it to the end, which is something some people, and I don't mean myself, but obviously I do struggle with at times. This was a really unprofessional sex joke, I apologize. And it looks like the next map, or the map that has been picked, is nothing yet. Nothing has been picked. It looks to be some discussion in the lobby, maybe people take a break. That is sometimes how that goes. In the meantime, we will listen to some tunes. This one is called Into the Trees by Trent Müller. I believe this is how you pronounce him. If not, then that's most unfortunate. Oh, I just see there was a question by him on the rules. I'm not really that familiar with the rules, but I do believe there's not really much you can do about it. It is on you to try to fix the situation, so I don't think the result will be in doubt, which of course is not how you want that to be, but that is how that is, unfortunately. I believe so. Feel free or absolutely check with the mods of VRML, get that checked out, see if you can get a rematch or whatever, but I do believe there is not much you can do on that one. Sometimes it just do be like that Dave curses you. Meanwhile, Dashtar decided to turn his headset upside down, and maybe that removes the curse. Now he picks it back up, and indeed we have Santorini, which appears to be picked by the Plantz because they are starting CT and the cats are starting T, which for me indicates that the map has been picked by Plantz, because otherwise why would you play CT on this map? It is somewhat unbalanced, and that is an understatement. They are now finding a server, hopefully they're finding it fast, so we shall turn down the music, turn it down, and start searching for the lobby. And indeed it already is there because it's a default map, so it is very much favored by the server. It does not have to be downloaded. Let's remove that image for a second. And you should only see this screen. We have the 1 minute mark, so we shall load that replay and get into Santorini. Fun facts about Santorini is it has doves as opposed to all other maps who do not have doves. These seem to be pretty fucking metal because they don't even care about a bomb exploding in their hometown. Yeah, again, I hope that was the recording lagging. It looks like VRML is moving over and they just fall apart because the river round is over. And we shall see what the cats do on their side, on their T side. This is a very important pistol round, really dictating the flow of the game on this map, probably almost as much as everybody else's map. They decided to go upper. This is a very wise choice. It is, in my opinion, the easier side to take in all of the situations. Plantz, however, seem to expect it, going towards the lower. VRML is like, I don't need my teammates, I'll just shoot Cube in the face, make it a bit more, you know, dead. And yeah, now they are 2-on-4 on the side. Superhero probably has the bomb. Enrico kills Hospice, who tries to rotate. Is he going to type in the numbers? I'm not sure what's stopping him. Yeah, he starts now. Mistypes, that's okay. Americans sometimes struggle with numbers. Cube now throwing a knife like a ninja, kills Aeon, leaving just Cutie Cat against 3, but the plant has been successfully planted, as plants go, against the plants. And yeah, Devshire just shoots Cutie Cat in the face, telling her, hey, we are the Polish team, you can't be Polish on this side, and just kills her. So first round goes towards Plants. They should be very happy about that. Denying the plant is almost impossible, I would argue. And they didn't manage to do that, but they managed to win the round. And every round you win as CT is round 1 as CT. But also it's a very good thing because, you know, it's a very T-sided map. So that means you will, you know, have an easier time winning it out on the T side. Looks like they keep going there. 2-1-2 setup. Deathstar only buying a deagle. Up here we have VRML again and Ozios immediately being shot by LeCube. Now we have 5 members of CAT nearby, and they also managed to pick the fight with VRML by, you know, killing him. And now this time Superhero again mistypes but manages to get the bomb down just like the first time, and it's now a 3v5 situation. In my opinion, this will be near impossible. Cube does manage to get the flank from yellow, but Hospice is killed, and now Cube also trades out with LeCube. I just realized how freaking irritating these names are. Cube 3K and LeCube. Deathstar also showing Superhero what it's like to be shot in the face. It's pretty unfortunate. So now the Cats win their first round. Lots of casualties, however. 3 people down when the enemy is like saving is not what you want, but still they managed to get their first win, so they should be happy about that. And the plans are still kind of broke. Looks like a half buy except for Deathstar, who only bought the deagle and got himself a kill, which is always a good time. And it looks like they're going up to B again, which they should, because it's a really easy to take site. And this time it looks like Plants only have some stabbies. Ozius gets not stabbed, just shot the ordinary way. Cube reads it right, runs down there. Don't think he has been spotted, and he does manage to stab the Superhero. This is very good for them because they will not expect more players on site. But Enrico proves me wrong by shooting VRML. However, Death Star was also there. I didn't even realize he was. And he gets a 1911 kill. The man is now swimming in money. High on his success, he tries to challenge LeCube, but LeCube is like, you have a pea shooter, I have an AK, you cannot win this, and kills him. And it looks like he also knows about Hospice. So this is another win. However, losing 3 people to 2 knives and a 1911 and not getting the plant means that's a lot of money that has been left on the table, or rather pocketed by the Plantz. Look at Death Star, who just casually flexes 8k on the 4th round. And it's not something you see very often, so he can flex that money. He buys himself a shiny, nice grenade, while the rest of the team only has the grenade that goes bing, which is also very funny, but also almost always more deadly. And this time, for the first time, looks like the cats want to go lower. Death Star shows off his grenade, but doesn't manage to really tag anybody. Superhero shows how far he can throw a flashbang. Not sure why he did that, as it did not flash anybody, but in the meantime, Enrico did manage to get the kill. Superhero gets killed by Cube in the mid before Cube is killed by Hospice. Now it's a 3v3 situation with the Cube still in mid and Hospice on the CT stairs, killing Aeon, turning this into 2v3 with bomb not down. All the Plantz will have to do is contain the situation. They should have heard Cube now. And Jesus, just fires 1 bullet. Very cost efficient here, spending just the minimal amount of bullets and probably money. Now a 3v1 situation, and they know where he is. But he doesn't care and kills Ver anyways. 2v1, they hopefully shouldn't peek him 1 by 1. They do it anyways, but they managed to get a win for them. So this is very good, as it's another CT round. And most importantly, they got the guns. Getting the guns is always so much fun. Cats still have money for new guns, as they also like guns. Everybody likes guns in this game. So they buy into this, but if they do not manage to plant, if they do not manage to win this round, they will be quite broke. I say this as if having $1,900 is being broke. However, in this game, it pretty much means you are, as things tend to be expensive. And they are going up to B again with a beautiful grenade. Goddamn Superhero is at like, look at that shit. That was beautiful. I'll just suck up the damage as he does. He barely survives, which he probably surprised him as well. PewDiePie looking at a flashbang before killing Osius with a nicely thrown grenade. Now it's a 5v3 situation. However, multiple members of Cat are very tagged. Cube is now tagged in the head by some M4 fire. Superhero once more getting the plant down with just a little bit of health, while his teammate Enrico helps him suppress him. Aeon also suppresses Hospice health bar until it reaches 0. Death Star meanwhile is like, guys, please, I can't have you all die, so I need to join you, and that is exactly what he does. So this was a good round for the Cats. They managed to plant, they managed to win, kill all the members. And now it is Plantz who are partially broke. Ver doesn't really have a lot of money. This is because he doesn't have a lot of kills. Rest of his team is able to buy. Death Star could even drop for him, but it looks like they are saving in solidarity, raking up or banking that cash. We shall see how that goes for them. This time it looks like another B. Pushing up, same old, same old. This time they don't have frag grenades, but they sent 3 people up and were already made it into here. So maybe the Cats will not. Oh, now there's the tag, so they will know somebody's there. And he even gets flashed some brilliant eye damage before all the other damage is applied, leaving just Cube on the side, who tries to stab the Superhero, but he's not having any of that. While meanwhile Aeon kills Osius. There was an opportunity to make some more money with the plant, but there was also no need, as they are very rich, so they got themselves that important round win. 2-4 now. And it looks like another B. How daring. This time we're trying to take it aggressive. Nene does not connect. He's now peeking multiple people, also peeking Superhero's head with AK fire. Also kills Cutie Cat, surprisingly still alive, even though multiple people fire him in. He does a little bit of the moonwalk before he moonwalks into his own grave, but he manages to buy his team time. Now it's a 3v3 situation. They have fully rotated up until Osius decided to rotate off into the grave as well. 3v2. And they turn it around in 2v1. I'm not entirely sure what is happening. They still have 1 minute. They had all the time in the world to rotate, to make some plays. One downside, of course, is that Superhero died with the bomb over there, and they are probably aware, as Superhero tends to have the bomb. No, it is actually incorrect, as Hospice walks back to the mid. They don't seem to know where the bomb is, where Aeon is. He also has a silencer, so when he shoots, they have no idea where he is. This, of course, is a joke. The silencer does not work like this, and Hospice realizes, there's nobody really in mid, so it's probably still up there. And that it is, and Death Star gets killed, tuning this to a 1v1 situation. However, Hospice, all he needs to do is wait out the time, 20 seconds. Aeon needs to plant, he probably can, but it will be very, very dangerous, or rather, when he tries to, he will probably get killed. And he tries to bait out Hospice, almost managed to do so, but then in the end lost his nerve, which allows the Plantz to get another round, very important round for them. They now have the money for all the guns they want and the util, the critical util. On the cat side, they still have the money, so they can keep going, but they need to make more rounds here. 3-4, that is not the results you want on this map. And it looks like they're switching it up a bit, sending 2 people up and 3 people down, or rather Aeon is going towards the mid. Not sure what the play is. I believe Superhero has the bomb, and it looks like the Plantz are fooled because they're rotating up. However, it looks like they're rotating down again. Maybe a footstep was heard. Aeon dies in mid, and now the push comes to upper. Cube is not convinced. It's like, something smells funny. Is it a cat? Turns out it is, because Superhero is still on the stairs visible, but he does probably not know about Cutie Cat, who is lurking for him. He, however, turns back. Superhero rotates into mid. Now it's a 4v5 situation. Still plenty of time. 3 members are on upper. Since Superhero has the bomb, it is kind of mid, can go anywhere. Cutie Cat just standing by that door. It is a nice shady spot there. I don't want to say shady lady. She now walks into the sun. Looking, hey, where did Cube go? Did he rotate off? Cube, the other Cube, the Lig Cube, managed to get some kills on upper. Cutie Cat still searching for him. Cube just lurking there, looking deep. However, unfortunately for him, he misses her, and she just runs off. Now the fight on upper is something we should focus about. We have one person in mid or in the pit who gets killed by the Cube, leaving just the other Cube, the Death Star, and Roar, who is heavily tagged. However, he has a good head peek. Can he make use of that? Enrico turning his back towards the T-spawn as the wrong rotates were sometimes there. Roar kills Licube, turning this into a 3v3 situation. With lots of flanks going on, they now know the position of one player, they kill him, and the last player has been spotted in mid. He's very low, so all they have to do is wait it out, make him push, which he tries to do. And Superhero gets off the flank. Will he die to the bomb? Unfortunately for him, he just gets killed, betrayed by his own bomb. However, they have the money for the last round, so that is not the end of the world. 3-5 last round for the Cats. Ideally, they want to absolutely take another round for them, because they will have to then only win 4 CT rounds, which would be more than the Plantz have won. And it looks like we have the same sort of split as last round. This round, it doesn't look like the Plantz realize what's going on. Aeon kills, lurks out Osius in the mid, and Enrico gets Roar on the upper. Cube still in mid, probably heard some of that potentially, but it doesn't look like commitment has been set. Death Star only armed with a mini AK. We shall see if he can make that happen. I'm not sure where I should position the camera, because it looks like the Cats do not know where they want to go. They just walk around together, which on this map can be quite fun because it's quite beautiful. Always new details to explore. Now looks like all the teams exploring the mid together. Or maybe not. 45 seconds on the clock. We still have Enrico up there. Looks like the Plantz are confused, moving towards the lower end of the site because nothing has happened on upper. Enrico is just chilling in the corner all alone. They probably know about hospice as there was gunfire. Enrico now moving on site. However, he's exposing his butt, which is not something you should do. However, oh, never mind. He's actually in the pit. But Superhero just decides to run through hospice peacefully, and they just pass each other. So he manages to plant the bomb, turning this into a 4v2. Now it's a 3v1 situation. And Aeon decides to kill the Pretender Cube. Now 3-6. This is a good round, but it's obviously not the ideal round, so we will see if the Cats can get it done. On the Cat side, we see multiple Big Macs coming out. 2, that is, a 5-7, a Deagle by Enrico, and Aeon still has 250, but also has a gun, so I'm not sure what he bought there in terms of that. That might actually be a Beretta. And then maybe a smoke or a flashbang. Not sure how that goes. Looks like the Plantz, however, decide, you know what, we want to fight more on this lower side as there has been really no fight. And Rico finds out that Ver is already there. Cube is on the menu and is taken off the menu because you cannot consume humans. They just kill him because it's not, you know, up to standards. 2v5 situation, pretty tricky. I would dare say impossible to retake. Aeon just on the CT stairs, finds out, hey, Ozius can hit that headshot on that distance. That is not something you want to find out, but that he did, even just Superhero, who now casually walks in before he gets shot for 6. So this is ideal for the Plantz. They got the plant down, and yeah. Okay, yeah, it looks like Aeon used the 1911. I'm just confused by the fact that he still had 250 left, so I would assume he just bought himself body armor and then decided to die with it. And this time it looks like the Plantz decisively go upper. Let's get the action cam set up. It's always a bit tricky on this map to get good angles. Aeon finds out, hey, this is luckily a smoke grenade. I will walk out of the smoke and then get shot. Probably not the plan he should have chosen, but it was the plan. Cube gets naded. I'm not sure where that came from. He's now very low. However, very low does not mean any sort of real damage, leaving Cutie Cat, Cube, and Enrico. Cutie Cat having 2 knives, which is pretty terrific, and Le Cube having a Deagle, but they have to push yellow, and that is not a good time for them. It's generally not a good time because there are so many angles when you come in there, so at the very least, you should try to use a flashbang, but of course, on an eco, they don't have access to those fancy tools. 5-6 now. The Cats need to start making something happen here, or they will lose their lead. But of course, this is easier said than done on this rather T-sided map. So we now see another B push with Hospice just in the mid, trying to nade the door. However, it's a tricky nade, so he misses it. Cutie Cat unimpressed. Shoots single fire bullets, tries to be economically efficient. Superhero ratting on site while Aeon is on the stairs. He's now lobbing a nade over, I believe. It heavily attacks Cube before Aeon takes him down. So they know the bomb is down, they know the bomb is up there. That nade somehow doesn't attack anybody. Lots of smoke on the side. They start picking up the bomb again. Careful, Hospice, this is your teammate. You need to be a bit aware of that. I believe this is not the real bomb. No, it's a pretender bomb. The real bomb is on site. They start getting shot in the back by his teammates before being deleted by the enemy. And now Le Cube with the flank. Yes, you need to please stop shooting your teammates, everybody. I mean, it is kind of nice that you decide to do that after the Plantz did that. And Cutie Cat shoots some guns as celebration, then drops them again. Hopefully they brought one for Superhero, or maybe it is punishment for him being 2-8. We shall see if they brought their American friend a gun, and it looks like they did because he still has money. No, I'm sure they did actually. He's quite low on money. Interesting, but maybe this way is how he will learn. The Plantz now still have the money, but they don't have a lot of money. It looks like they're using a lot of util, which they should, because util is a game changer. And they decide, we can take B. We didn't succeed last time, but this time we will have some flashbangs and one lonely smoke. Looks like they want to take it a bit slow. I don't recommend it on this map. You give up ground. You can get pre-netted in the tunnel. Superhero getting bored before getting shot. That's usually how that goes. He finds the intel, but at what price? Just 3v5 now for the Cats, who are kind of out of position. Aeon is in there. Maybe he can get a pick, but he is being flashbanged off, so he cannot deny the plan. And no, they know about him. Enrico decides to somewhat even the playing field by killing Hospice. 3-4 situation now, but it will be a very tricky retake as War is in yellow as Enrico finds out, because, you know, he shoots Enrico, leaving just Aeon, who has to fight 4 people. He probably shouldn't do that, because that tends to be very deadly, very bad for your health. He realizes this. He does have Austrian healthcare, which is probably pretty good, but it is probably not good enough to fix up so many bullet holes. So he decides to lurk in mid, look around for guns. However, Death Star is like, you know what, you need to die. But instead is being shot, does not check the corner wide enough, and donates a gun to the Cat Fund, or the Cat Gun Fund. So Aeon now has multiple guns, because he, I believe, also has a gun on his back. This is not a PAF TV artifact, so he brings all the guns to the yard, or in this case, I don't know what you want to call this, and he drops it for his team. So they now have 3 guns, also some clippers, also enough money to force something out. At 6-7, this would be probably a good time to try to even the field, to do some eco damage. If they can somehow win this round against the Plantz, then the Plantz will be very poor. Which Plantz tend to be? They tend to not have bank accounts, if you think about it. At least I never met one. Oh, Cube, however, meets that grenade, gets almost deleted. But, ooh, there was a second frag grenade, sir. There's a nade limit now, and it looks like the Plantz try to fake it out, but the Cats are not convinced. Roar does have the side, but he is all alone down there. Let's go up there. We have the superhero lurking. He's very patient. They probably think they succeeded in faking, which for the most part they actually did. I don't think he got tagged on that, because that grenade landed in the corner, but for some reason the Plantz do not decide to follow up on their advance, probably because Ver does have control, or somewhat control, of the downside, or so he thinks, but he had tags in the beginning. So now it looks like the Cats think it's a fake towards B, when in reality it's a fake of a double fake. I don't know who gets faked here by whom, but I do know that Cube is moving down. Believe Cube should have heard him now. Can he deny the plant? He probably, no, he cannot, but he can kill Cube there. Delete the Pretender Cube, but will he succeed against Ver? He will not. Ver kills him, and also Enrico is being killed. It's a 2v2 situation now. Tricky retake, but doable. I believe Cutie Cat killed somebody, so they probably know where she is. But can they get the win? Oh no, Osius peeks at the wrong second. He's now very low, has been spotted. They know about both players, but clock's ticking and they don't have clippers. Cutie Cat, however, clips Osius with an AK. Superhero pushes on side. They need to make a play now. Ver plays this very nicely, not giving them the fight, but now he has to. Oh no, that was a bit unlucky, and she cannot finish the defusal in time. She wasn't sure, but there was no angle from this side, so probably would have been better the other way, but that is always easy to say in hindsight. I have always been called Captain Hindsight on my team for my input, which then tends to be correct because it's after the game. Alright, 7-7 now evening it out, and unfortunately for the Cats, they are now struggling for cash. Superhero is so poor he has to buy a dreaded Bison. Lucky for him, he does not have to use it, at least not initially, because the Plantz are fully pushing down now. Moving on side, Cube just starting to type these numbers in. Ver gets Cube on the down low and turning this into a 4v5 situation for the Cats. However, most some members of Plantz are quite low. Osius, not one of them. Now he is, but before that he killed somebody. 3v4 situation, but everybody is low. Oh, that grenade really turns it around. Aeon is like guys, please don't just all die to a grenade. I don't want to fight 1v4. And it looks like he decides, I don't really want to do this. He, I think, picks up something, probably a gun, hopefully for his team, maybe some utility. And the Plantz realize he is probably not going to fight this, and they run away as far as possible. Since they had his position, they knew he couldn't make that defuse anyways. 8-7 now, and it looks like the game is swinging towards the Plantz. We can see if the Cats can make a comeback or if the Plantz can finish it out. Looks like the Cats decide to not force guns, to just save guns for last or save money for last and save some money. We see some buys coming out, however it's a bit delayed. Lucky for them, Plantz also a bit slow on what they want to do. Still having 2 people in spawn. One on the A stairs, hoping for some CT aggression. Superhero characteristically not on the B side this time. They're stacking towards the A side, which unfortunately for them doesn't appear to be the target. Kitty Cat now picking a fight in mid. Aeon now trying to be aggressive and is being punished for it. Now the Plantz do have complete control over upper side, but do they know it? It looks like Enrico gave it away by killing Hospice. So now it's a 3v4 situation. They did get a gun out of this, but I don't think they can retake this. Even though they do have clippers, they are all kind of in mid, and you know, they have to fight 4 people, and a retake on Santorini is never a good time, and it looks like they go for it anyways. Hopefully it will turn out good for them. I don't think it will. Enrico now entering the side, exposing himself to Osius, who's like, sir, you cannot do this here. This is not a Walmart. Cube gets taken out by Cube. They still have the battle going on as to whom is the real Cube. And this time it was not the French Cube, who's actually not from France. Fun fact. But in any case, just Cutie Cap on the map. Plantz decide to shoot around. Extract the mid. Cutie Cat is very happy about this by killing Death Star, but losing the gun. So all in all, not worth it, because they can pick up the gun she just took away. So this is potentially the final round. The Plantz do have enough money for whatever is remaining in terms of rounds. On the Cat side, they are a little bit low. They do have the guns and the util, so they obviously need to win this round. And Superhero is moving into the mid and towards lower. He gets tagged with a nade, but he decides, yo man, that's pretty freaking rude. He pushes immediately into yellow. Cutie Cat meanwhile trades were Superhero had a flank here, but unfortunately couldn't make anything out of it, leaving just Aeon up there. He has to wait on his team, but he gets smoked off. Not really, that smoke does not do anything. Rest of the smoke grenades, however, prevent any sort of peeking, buying time. This nade unfortunately bounced off quite luckily for Plantz. Not sure what happened there. Cube tries to take the fight from the kid, which is not good, but provides some sort of distraction. Now just Enrico, he manages to kill Osius and he needs to defuse the bomb. Does he have clippers? He does not, and he does not find any on the way, but he's being told by his team that there are indeed some. So he managed to clip it and manages to win another round. 9-8 for the Cats, absolutely what they needed, but they have to do this 2 more times, and hopefully those times, or hopefully for them, they don't die so much, because dying is generally very unhealthy. And it looks like this time the Plantz were quite happy with their lower, as they took it really fast and defended it fast as well. Cube sees and hears all the utility. He managed to get past them without being tagged. Cube immediately goes for the plant. That's nice. Enrico finding out he can nade people, also gets a kill on that. Enrico gets another kill, leaving just 2 members who will now have to defend against 5 members. If Cats play this right, they can absolutely win this. However, Enrico, overeager, already picks a fight. Unfortunately for Plantz, they don't have eyes on the bomb, so if they are just being flanked now by Superhero, who has been spotted, Cutie Cat swings in. We're a bit helpless there because he cannot you know, prevent the clip. Superhero says, this was quite unfair from us. I'm gonna blow myself up in protest, or not sure what happened there. However, he does kill himself with the grenade, which means, unfortunately, that he loses his gun, probably also a bit of money, unless there was after the round. I'm not sure about that, but he has in any case enough money. So we now have a 9-9 with both sides having all the equipment they want, effectively saying, you know what, guys, all these 18 rounds before, they are entirely pointless. All that counts is this round. And Vor, he gets tagged by a pre-nade. LeCube must be happy about that. They realize there's no follow-up on that aggression, so there's probably nobody on B side anymore. Hospice is on the T stairs. Superhero lurking the corner again. He did move off that side for quite a bit. Aeon throwing a grenade into pit. I don't think that's where that was supposed to land, but that sometimes happens, especially to me since I'm bad at this game. He's just chilling there. The Plantz now still have 1 minute. They are walking onto site, but Aeon about to spot them. You know, the gunfire is pretty obvious. Oh boy, what is Superhero doing? Yeah, so they lose 2 members, then they lose some more, turning this into a 2v4 situation. Vor is lurking mid. I believe he's about to kill LeCube. That is exactly what happens, and Ozius got Enrico. A little bit of the nerves there, I would say, in the end. So this is a 10-9 final score, which does mean we will go into like a third map, you know. I mean, we would have gone into a third map anyways, but we will go into a third map that actually decides who is the winner of this week's game between the two. So with that said, we are going to go into a little bit of a break here, turn on some music, chill out to some vibes or whatever, and come back once we know more. And it looks like the final map has already been picked. It's the Manor. And this time the Plantz are going to start T. We're still waiting on Enrico, it seems like. So they're not loading up the lobby just yet, but we should get underway very soon, which means we have to pause the music. This was Marvel 83's Golden Dawn. Very nice track, can recommend. And it looks like they are looking for game server, so let's kill the music and actually go into game 3. And the map will be, like I said, the manor. And it looks like they're still in the finding server stage. Also looks like the resident streamers Deathstar and Aeon do not have a lot of delay, which I can only recommend. 90 seconds delay, gang. Keep your gameplay safe. And it looks like Dave is not blessing them because there's still no server found. And the situation goes so bad that they try to redo the match, hoping they will be blessed by a quicker lobby. And it looks like VRML has been swapped in on the Plantz side. On the cat side, it doesn't appear any change in players. We still have Cutie Cat, we still have Superhero, Enrico, Aeon, and Cube. On the Plantz side, it looks like Cube 3K got swapped out for VRML, so it turns out he was the pretender Cube all along, who was not allowed to be in the game with Le Cube. And they are connecting, so we can actually get into this game. We shall just wait until it has been 1 minute to load into the recording. There we go. And we can get started on Manor. Kind of a curious map if you ask me from a purely design standpoint, considering the house. Yes, it looks large, but it only has a single table room and the entrance hall. However, there is quite a bit of space on this reserved for, you know, stuff like this. And over there, it's actually more of that. So whoever owns this manor seems to be obsessed with honoring the dead or something, and not really with his living space. And the Plantz seem to agree. They want to go there. They want to go to the obelisk and towards the mausoleums. They will face Cutie Cat and Le Cube. He should hear them now. He's throwing in a flashbang that actually flashes multiple members of the Plantz who are now in confusion. What just happened? Where did that light came from? They breach the site nonetheless. Cube backs up, realizing, wait, that's way too many guns for me. Superhero gets hospice. Nice pick there. 5v4. Cutie Cat evens it out by dying. 4v4. Plantz goes down, but Ver is punished for his plant. Now it's a 4v2 situation. Superhero makes that 3v1. If he can defuse, never mind. Cube decides we don't do this kind of stuff here and just shoots Death Star. I was about to say if Superhero can defuse while they keep him busy, that would be quite nice for them. However, they shoot him before that. So they do get the win, which is very important for them, as CT is generally considered the weaker side on this map. But they have less money as always. Still, maybe it is enough. We see a bunch of AKs coming around. It is the economical choice if you want to wage war. And we see 2 lonely flashbangs on the cube side and 1 frag grenade, which is actually not a frag grenade but the bomb, and 2 flashbangs on each on Osius and Vor. And it looks like a slow A play. At least we have 3 people in secret moving up into the house. We have Osius in the mid lane and Vor on the B plat. Or maybe even table, it's hard to say from here. Wherever he was, he is not there anymore as he is dead. Headshotted by Superhero, who's starting to pop off, starting the game with 3 kills. That is definitely a better start than the last game, if he doesn't mind me saying so. 5v4 situation now. Plantz taking it slow. The Cats have no idea actually. And still don't have any idea because Cutie Cat just trades with Osius, keeping it a mystery. But the fact that there was somebody in garden should tell them something, and Superhero, eager to help his teammates, gets punished for that rush as he was already quite low. 3-2 situation now. Aeon not sure if it's still A, but the fact that Enrico just got shot tells him it was. Bionex is shot in the back, but Hospice managed to get the refrag. It's now a 1v1 situation, and with 35 seconds on the clock, Hospice needs to pick up the bomb and go to the bomb spot. And ideally he would go to B, but maybe he's not aware that Cube is there. He is aware now. 25 seconds. It looks like he doesn't have the bomb, so he doesn't have the luxury. The bomb might be down on site. The Cube doesn't hear any sort of running away noises. That tells him, hey, this guy cannot get the plant. He has to kill me. So I shall deny him the fight, keep my gun up. This is exactly what he does. And Hospice realizes, shit, I am out of time. So he starts running, trying to get the fight, but Cube doesn't make any noise, so Hospice can't fight him, and the round goes towards the Cats, which is very nice because without the plant and without the round win, Plantz will be quite poor. The Cats also not very cash rich, but they have the guns that puts them at a decisive advantage. So 2-0 and the economic advantage is exactly how you want this to start if you are a fan of the Cats. We see a very ambitious pre-nade. Plantz sometimes known for taking it slow, but I don't think Superhero factored that in. I think he just threw that a little bit too far, yeeted it a bit too much. In any case, nobody was even near A, so that would have not tagged anybody even if it was thrown more towards the A stairs. We have Aeon on the head peak. Let's go into the action cam. Can we make that work? Actually, nicely enough, it's not blocked by his hand. We can't actually see what he's aiming for. Superhero gets killed by Hospice. Only person with a gun. The knife misses Aeon. Aeon doesn't miss, just shoots down 3 people like it's nobody's business, which of course is now very awkward for the rest of the Plantz team. However, Hospice still has the gun, and he uses it perfectly on Cutie Cat by just shooting her in the face. Now it's a 3v2 situation, but Aeon is still there. Not sure why Bionex thought he wasn't, because he just killed 3 team members, maybe 10 seconds prior. If you do not get the call out after 3 of your team members have been killed, you should probably book a session with your team in terms of group communication. Now 30 seconds on the clock. They should know that it actually was a B play, because why else would there be 4 players running towards headshot? But it doesn't look like Cats made that call, leaving just Aeon on the side. However, Hospice does not know. Probably now finally got the call that somebody was at headshot. He finds all these corpses. He does pick up the bomb, but with only 12 seconds on the clock, all Aeon has to do is play time. But he decides, I don't want this time nonsense, I want the ace, and he gets it by killing Hospice and picking up an extra AK. He says, goddamn Superhero, he cannot be our top frag. That is not something I can allow, so he just easily aces it, or rather not easily, but he does it anyways. So 3-0, quite the good start for the Cats. The Plantz really need to make something happen, because otherwise they will have the really hard task on the CT side. We see pre-nades coming out, but everybody just going into house, and in the house there's generally not a lot of pre-nades considering it is a house. They split up. We also see an AK-12 by Ver. Not sure if that was a misbuy, as he has the money to buy a real gun, or quote-unquote real gun. Nobody really is a fan of the AK-12 as far as I'm aware. We have some movement now in table lane. Superhero about to be peeked or peeking, not sure what's happening here. Maybe they have a peace treaty. He now looks towards mid, which is not what he should have done, and gets killed by Ver. This can be how the game goes sometimes. You get punished for looking in the wrong direction and being shot. It's quite brutal. It looks like they opened up the table lane, but still decide to go towards the 8 side. Cube is waiting there. Maybe they're still scared of Aeon, who just killed them all. Not sure what their reasoning is for this one, but they are walking into the obelisk. Darstar gets killed by Enrico, but there's nobody else. Maybe the cats can read this. Roar is moving slowly through garden. Le Cube about to find out what it's like to be slow pushed by multiple plants. Yep, he dies, unfortunately for him. Cutie Cat dropping a flashbang, maybe on himself. But Enrico takes out Roar. Cutie Cat now in a sort of secret position without being found. Unix probably doesn't have any idea she's actually there. Unfortunately for her, that statue is pennable, so she doesn't win that fight, and Unix doesn't even take damage. Enrico also gets killed, but Aeon trades him out for Hospice. 1v2 situation. And they also know where Unix is. 1v1 situation, however, he's quite low and he doesn't have clippers. So if he wants to play this, he needs to play it aggressively, and with his health it is of course very dangerous. But it looks like he's trying to play it slow, even though Unix knows exactly where he is because he just fired off his gun and Unix shoots him. Will he get away? No, unfortunately he dies of a bomb plant in his back. That is the leading cause of death when you try to run away from a bomb. Still 3-1 first round for the Plantz. They now have the money. However, the cats also still have the money, so they can just buy into it, and that they will. Hopefully this time we see some clippers or snipers, as they can make defusing the bomb quite a bit faster. And it looks like this time it's a slow B. That would have been the perfect opportunity for Prenet. However, this time they didn't have the money or the guts. Superior decides to save his. Wouldn't have tagged anybody on A side anyways. We see a smoke grenade falling into the pool, preventing anybody peeking from sniper. Enrico now moving towards the banana, shooting some guns, finding more members. And now the nade comes in, really attacks Osius. A bit too far, still very good damage. Osius essentially will die to anything and everything. Aeon is deep on side, will sort of prevent any sort of push. He should move up to headshot. Darstar being killed by Superhero. However, Hospice does manage to get through, and now he's in the back of Aeon. Doesn't manage to kill him. The rest of the Plantz, not sure what they're waiting on. Kind of rude because Hospice was already on site. He really needed their help. Looks like Osius, who probably has the bomb, moves towards the A side. Is he? I don't know. 4v1 situation. Cube still lurking there. Osius just full speed eating it. Doesn't have it. He does have it. He just started to plant, but Cube is like, nah, dog, and that ain't happening here. Meanwhile, on the other side, Unix did manage to get a kill, but he's quite tagged, and he only has 20 seconds with the bomb. On the other side of the map, there's no chance for him to make it there. He should pick up guns for his teammates if he can find any, but I'm not sure. I don't think anybody died in the house, and he's also quite low, so maybe he just needs to save this one, call it quits, and try again next time. He can hear Superhero. I was thinking for a second he would burst that panel door, but he decides not to, which is probably a good idea because he would have given away his position. So now we have a 4-1 situation for Cats. Very good start for them. They again have all the money they need, and the Plantz are quite broke. So broke, in fact, that only Vionex still has his gun. Rest of the team does have to use the tiny pistols, or in some cases, or actually all cases, the big pistols. Hopefully they can get some picks and can get their T on the other side. Such a start is quite demoralizing. We shall see if they can turn this one around, or if they have an excellent CT side. That is always a possibility. We shall see. It looks like they are slow pushing the table lane into the alley. Enrico and Banana should peek this any second now, or the mid player should help out to cover that flank. It's one of the few maps that has more lanes than there are CT players, which is probably one of the reasons why it's generally considered T-sided. Superhero watching the mid through a gate. Now Enrico about to find out, hey, there's a whole lot of people in there. He does manage to kill them, but is being killed in the process as a superhero. Now Ver tries to pick up a gun. Aeon could pen that, not sure what's stopping him, but he does manage to kill Ver. He's now shooting at the thing, but VRML is not there anymore. We see a flashbang, 35 seconds on the clock. I don't think VRML has the bomb. He still has his gun from last round, but he's heavily wounded, and Aeon is about to pick him and kill him. So 5-1, very nice for the Cats. Another victory. Good day, Mr. Beanie 7225. I hope you have a good day. I hope the 7224 Mr. Beanie who came before you also have a good day. And it looks like the Plantz are not happy with their B performance. Now rushing all towards A, surprisingly, because Superhero did pre-nade that a bunch of times. This time, lucky for them, he does not as he moves towards the mid, then realizing, hey, all of those flashbangs, those are not firecrackers, that's actually the enemy assaulting that side. Lots of gunfires on side, Cutie Cat tagging Osius, but also quite low in the process. We're running around all the way, getting the scoop out of X-Cap. That nade just a little bit too late. But now 4v3 situation, 4v2, 3v2, 2v1, 2v0, and Superhero can now pick up guns. They have diffusers. They should pick up, yeah, they realize, hey, we can actually take our sweet time, maybe even pick up some extra utility, and he goes for it. 6-1, you can't really ask for a better start. The one round that the Plantz won really also disrupted the economy. So now, thanks to the plant, they have money again. They can plant, hopefully they can plant, but most importantly, they can buy guns and can maybe win another round, which they desperately need. I'm not entirely sure why sometimes my voice turns Indian. I hope you apologize. I'm not doing that intentionally. I think I'm just running out of breath. And it looks like they were somewhat happy with their A performance because they're going for it again. That smoke grenade is not going to really do a whole lot. And the plant goes down. Osius does get Superhero in the garden. So there's a breach in the garden. He's just lurking there. Cube, however, just breaches Death Star by shooting him. And we shall see if the Cats can get the retake done. They have all the money in the world. They should absolutely play this. They don't need to save. Cube going for 2 snips, gets 2 snips, but doesn't get the last snip. But Enrico now has to get one more snip. He does get 1v1 situation, and he has the nades, he has the utility. He just needs to smoke it off. He needs to... Oh no, he's trying to... He's trying to be cheeky and just getting the last clips. However, VRML was prepared for that and checked and shot him. He had all the utility. I feel like he could have played that just 2 seconds slower. Of course, the bomb was taking, the pressure was on, but still, this was not the play. Lucky for the Plantz, this was finally the win they needed. 6-2. Hopefully for them, they can turn it into 6-3, which is not the round half you want on Manor, but it's the round half they can get at this point. Or the Cats can really extend their lead by turning this into 7-2. Looks like they're faking a little bit towards A side, and Aeon decides to aggressively scout. Probably will get punished for that. Yes, he does, because his head is being blown off real clean. He didn't feel that lucky today as he was a punk, if I may quote that. And Enrico also gets shot on Banana. And this is now a 3v5 situation with only VRML low. Superhero also low because he's dead, turning this into 2v5. So this is falling apart for the Cats. Now Cutie Cat has to make the hero play here. She has to win 1v4. This is last round. There's no point in saving. She does have clips, but she needs to really get going and, you know, win. Unfortunately for her, Osius decides, I can't allow that, and just shoots her. So Plantz somewhat managing to turn this around into a 6-3 And we shall see if they have the hero defense. This pistol round will be incredibly important for the Plantz. I cannot stress this enough. If they cannot prevent the plant, they will have a really hard time. If they can not win the round, they will have an even harder time. So this is really where they need to make a play. And it looks like they're going with a standard 2-1-2 setup. And the Cats just decide, just rush A. And that they do. We have 3 people in the long. Were in the thing is being called out now, however. Being shot in the back by 2 people. Always very unhealthy. And Superhero has the bomb on site now. Deathstar gets cube, but the bomb is planted, so that's already very good for them. Superhero also kills Deathstar, turning this into a 2v3 situation. Absolutely winnable for the Cats, but they have to play it smart. Hospice now walking alone into site. He heard Aeon, but almost gets refragged by Superhero, but Osius decides to shoot him before that happens. So this is a win for the Plantz, very important. However, the plant did go down, so both sides will have roughly the same money. The Cats will have a slight advantage. It remains to be seen if they can turn that advantage into a massive advantage by winning the next round. If the Plantz can win this round, then everything goes again. Then it will be 6-5, and then that is exactly how they need to get that going. If they lose this round, then their economy will be really disrupted, and also they will be even further behind. And it looks like with the guns, but with absolutely no util except for Superhero, who I believe, what did he buy? He bought an AK, but probably no armor. Nading Osius, who gets tagged by that. Also, the smoke probably wasn't intended. Now flashing onto site. Probably missing Vunex, not tagging him, so they have no idea he's there, but he shows himself and shoots. However, Word just randomly kills 2 people. Vunex kills Superhero, leaving just Cutie Cat, who's probably not happy that everybody's dead. And then she decides to join. So this is a very good for the Plantz, 6-5. And since there was no plant, the economy of the Cats is actually in shambles. Not sure what happened there, how that player or how they all got deleted there. Maybe this time they can take it a bit slower, pick the fights, get a player, get a pick, and then rush or something else. They need to change up their game, as so far their T side has not been successful, and it looks like they're trying to change it up by just splitting out, maybe getting a pick. Not sure where that grenade exploded. Vunex alone on the B side, interesting decision here. When he can make it to headshot, this will be quite good for him. However, he decides to be aggressive. This is not what you want to do on the CT round, and he gets traded out. So now they have access to the gun, and most importantly, they also probably could plant. Unfortunately, it's probably Superhero who has the bomb, because he usually has it. Doesn't have it this time. He does not. Oh, that's actually not Superhero. I'm stupid. That's Aeon. This would explain why he got an headshot. And now the Plantz are probably utterly confused as to what's going on, because Aeon is still on A plat. What the hell? But Superhero is on B side. He does have the bomb. He types it in slowly. Those are some big numbers. 2v3 situation. Enrico does have the AK. He just needs to play it smart. Probably not peek that this aggressively. Nope. Gets killed 1v3, so they have the plant. Good save on that front. Also getting 2 kills, also very good. But I feel like they could have won this by just playing it a bit better. They can still win this if Superhero manages to get some kills here. If he gets Hospice, he can maybe defend the bomb from headshot. Hospice now moving in. He gets him, but Deathstar is very close. He picks up the gun, but unfortunately Deathstar says no to that. And Osius firing a shot of a 5-7 in celebration. Probably try to get his clippers instead. No matter 6-6, but that was economically wise a very good round for the Cats. So basically all is open again. We could have saved the first 6 rounds. Everybody has guns, everybody has util. Yeah. And it looks like for an A play there comes a pre-nade and a pre-flash that is not being followed up with any sort of aggression. Cats take it slow. Vunex learned his lesson on the B side, just playing on side. They have no intel on that regard. If the Cats played smart, they can really creep up here and be there. The Plantz do have deep plant, so he will know early on the obelisk. They now push out of secret and trade out Death Star with Enrico. However, they do not get Ver, so now it's 2v4 and they haven't even breached. The nade does good damage, but Hospice does even more by shooting Aeon. And Superhero decides, this whole dying business, it's a bit much for me, it's very traumatizing. Decides to run off. Hospice maybe hurt him. He's trying to hide down here. It's a very unusual spot, so Hospice trying to locate him. Probably not checking, because why would you check that? He even has a gun on his back. Oh, there he goes. Checks it, but gets punished for that. Very aggressive and brings multiple guns. However, we have Vionex on the balcony. Not sure if Superhero heard that. If he keeps it tight, Vionex has no opportunity to shoot him. He does not keep it tight and instead just runs out in the open. Unfortunate. So all these guns are lost in time. 6-7 now. Superhero and Cutie Cat have money, as apparently does the rest of this team, so they all buy in. On the Plantz side, also a lot of money. We have Schnippas and we have frag grenades, and a lot of them probably used for pre-nades, so the cats should take it slow or use the house. There goes the first one, kind of bouncing off that edge, probably wasn't intended. Fell a bit short there, wouldn't have tagged anybody anyways because they took it slow. This one, however, just a slight bit too far, but was definitely way more dangerous. Probably caused some footsteps. Not sure, probably Vera doesn't hear those. So no intel has been shared. Seeing some flashbangs and the smoke. Not sure because it's not being followed up. Some gunfighting here and there. Superhero probably has the bomb towards the B side. Vionex now spotting him, not getting tags. But he is isolated alone as the rest of the team probably doesn't know that it's actually Superhero. We see a nice nade on Sniper. Unfortunately for them, there's nobody there. And another frag that just goes nowhere. Hospice now aggressively pushing towards the house, about to flank them. It doesn't look like Cutie Cat and Superhero have any idea this is coming. And meanwhile, Enrico got killed in the garden. And he gets them both. 2v4 situation with just 35 seconds on the clock, and Cube also dead, turning into 1v4. Probably not gonna be a win. Aeon, however, decides to end Hospice life. Flank on the flank. That is some Inception stuff here. But with 20 seconds on the clock, I don't think Aeon can win this one in any way. He may be able to save a gun, but unfortunately for him, the rest of the plans are ready to deny those guns. Vionex even hunting for the kill. Being killed instead. However, there's another member. Oh, yeah, with just 3 seconds on the clock and so little HP, Aeon should not fight this. However, even after the counter, Odysseus will continue to push this, but gets killed. So Aeon gets more kills. This kill does not go towards his economy, but the others do. And obviously, all the lost guns from Plantz are hurting the economy, as most of their members are now being, or some of their members are now being reset. They can still afford. The other members can buy him guns. I think the idea here was deny that gun to Aeon, but instead Aeon decides to deny those guns. And this time it looks like it's a full B. We have some people in table, we have some people in B plot. We see the nades not tagging anybody. That nade kind of bounced off smoke. Maybe blocking off Sniper. Rest of the team now on side. Vionex does not have an angle. Now they do. They do get 3 members of the Plantz, but they probably don't know that Odysseus is also there. They trade out. That was a bit lucky. I have to say, I hope Cube is not mad about that, because he just flicked it and managed to get the headshot. This is why the AKA is sometimes called Luck 47. But Ver shows you can also get good kills with the M4, leaving just Superhero against Ver. Ver probably doesn't know exactly where Superhero is, but since the bomb has been planted, he knows he's probably there somewhere. He's pulling out his favorite play, the spicy nade. Can he make that happen? He has to stay close to the bomb so the nade actually does something, but unfortunately for him, Ver is about to flank him, and he's probably going to be too far away for that nade to do any damage. It does damage, but it does not kill him. Unfortunate. I feel like he should have just played that normally. This way he could have maybe won it, but he decides to try it with the spicy nade. 6-9, funny number, and potentially last round now, if Plantz can really close it out. But the cats also have money. It looked to me for a second that Cats had that round in the bag as they got a lot of kills, but then it swung back and it really turned into a 1v1 situation. A really far smoke grenade that's very interesting. At this stage of the game, it won't do anything there, but it might actually confuse the Plantz as they're not rotating, but the amount of util now should tell them, hey, there's something going on A side. Nades are flying in, Cube gets heavily tagged, Aeon slightly tagged, but they do... Oh, that was a nice nade hospice from the mid, killing Cube. Aeon, however, kills Death Star. Superhero now running on side. Since he has the bomb, he can just plant it. The rest of the team just needs to protect him for a second. They really want to drive home these nades kill, and Aeon unfortunately gets killed by that nade. 3v4 situation, turning this into 3v3. However, all of the or most of the members are quite low. Cunicate is low. Superhero decides to end the reign of terror from Hospice, but he has to fight 1v2. Why does his team do this to him? He does get Whir, however, Vionex is very close. He relocates. This is a very good play. Vionex will not be sure where he is. He needs to just play time. He suspects Vionex there, but now he hears them. He loses that fight, which is understandable because he was very low. Vionex does not have Clippers. He can defuse this. He probably will. He's looking for Clippers. That was a dangerous play because I feel like he could have defused that if he had kept going there, but he decided to go for the Clippers and ultimately gets punished by the bomb, who is like, excuse me, sir, if you start typing, you better frickin' finish typing or I'll explode in your face, and it is exactly what the bomb does. Of course, Captain Hindsight strikes again. It is always easier, say this in once it has been done. Cats must be quite happy as they won the round by a nice little clutch by Superhero who killed multiple people and delayed them long enough. We see the util now coming out of B. A nice pre-nade that somehow doesn't take Osseous. I think that was a bit weird. This one definitely tagged Osseous out of the map. And they now push headshot, but Vionex is on the spot. He has been on multiple times. They will check it. Yet Aeon checks it by giving out a headshot, turning it to a 5v3. This is quite not how they want it to be. And just Death Star being rather surprised by the fact that he's all alone. Cutie needs to be really careful as she's really low. But she's facing a 1911. Throwing a flashbang. And then backing up as she should. They know where he is. They just need to evacuate. They don't have to kill him. There's really nothing he has. For some reason, actually, he has armor. I'm not sure why he would have armor in the 1911. However, 8-9. This is really going interesting there in terms of like how close the game is. Because unfortunately for the Plantz, they're a bit low on money. They realize this. Vionex buying a Big Mac. That is a Tech 9, it's how I like to call it. Not sure why that would be the play here, because while that gun has a lot of bullets, those bullets do not do a whole lot against armor. They decide to stack B, which is exactly what they should do. Superhero gets caught off guard, gets stabbed in the back. Aeon also decides in his murderous rage to end the life of Cutie Cat. Rest of the Plantz members that get killed by 3v2 situation, and Death Star having a deagle, this is actually winnable. However, they did recover the bomb and they realized, hey, there was way too many people on B-plat. We should probably just go to A-plat. But this is not what they decide to do. Instead, they decide to fight. Aeon does get one player and he sees the others, so Death Star now has to fight it. He does manage to pick up the deagle and gets heavily tagged. And Enrico finishes out really close there for a save, I have to say. But luckily for them, in the end, they do manage to get that one. That was really, really close. But still, 9-9, 9-9, 9-9-9. We have it again here. All the rounds do not matter. Both sides do have all the money. Look at all these grenades. Look at all these flashbangs. On the Plantz side, we don't have all the utility, but we see loads. We see flashbangs. We see sneepers. We see grenades that are now being thrown. The pre-nade battle is being waged. No casualties so far. And it looks like the Plantz are not convinced that it's actually an A, even though it's really an A. Oh, there goes a flashbang, which just flashes people. Superhero confused, running into the corridor. They now reach side, and the rest of the Plantz member are not nearby. Do they know? Now comes the rotate in. Cat's a little bit too slow here. Cube already has the control of long. This is a tense moment. Aeon white peeks it, gets Whir. Enrico does get Osseous. Still 4v3, most members of Cat quite low. Bomb is not down. They know where Death Star is. Cutie Cat back is being watched by Aeon. However, Aeon dies and Death Star gets Cutie Cat. Le Cube does get Death Star, but he has to 1v2 clutch it. Let's go into the action then. He manages to get Hospice. Can he get the last kill? He probably expects the last person to be in Obelisk, as he expects them to be there, as he aims towards that. But unfortunately, oh, did he see that? He did not see it, and he loses the 1v1. Still very well played here. And this whole set goes towards the plant, but oh my god, what games has it been? GG's everybody. This is the final scoreboard. We have Aeon with 22-13 really popping off here, but on the other side, Hospice also popping off 21-17, Enrico 16-15, Boris 12-15, LeCube 15-13, Osius 13-13, Goddamn Subio 13-15, Vionix 14-11, Cutie Cat not saying Wololo this time, just 4-16, not her best game, probably just bad luck, that sometimes happen, and Death Star 11-15. GG's everybody. And with that, I would say good night, good fight. I will see you next time here on Radio RFL.